Chosen one, breathe for a second. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Don't multitask. Because you are not here by accident. This moment is not random. This is a divine interruption. A holy pause designed to realign you. Chosen one, something has shifted in the unseen, and you can feel it, not with your eyes, but with your spirit. The old pressure doesn't hit you the same. The fear that used to control you, it's losing its authority. The noise that used to pull you into confusion, it's starting to sound distant. And you may not have words for it yet, but your spirit has been whispering one thing. Something is changing, and I'm not the same. Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven is ending your survival era. Not tomorrow, not one day, right now. Because the season where you had to fight for scraps is being dismantled at the root. The season where you carried everything alone is being broken off you. The season where you were living from emergency to emergency is coming to a close. And you might be thinking, but nothing looks different yet. Chosen one, you need to understand this. Heaven moves in layers. First, it shifts your inner world. Then it rearranges the outer evidence. So, if you felt an internal shift lately, if you felt strangely calm in situations that used to overwhelm you, if you felt less interested in explaining yourself, if you felt the desire to isolate, to protect your peace, to guard your energy, that is not depression. That is not laziness. That is not you falling off. That is heaven preparing you for weight. Chosen one, you are being positioned, and positioning feels confusing at first because it looks like delay. It looks like silence. It looks like nothing is happening. But in the spirit, everything is happening. Let me speak to the part of you that has been carrying too much, the part of you that has been strong for too long, the part of you that has been smiling in public while fighting in private. Chosen one, I know you've been tired, not just physically, spiritually. You've been doing the right things with the wrong support. You've been giving your best with minimal return. You've been trying to keep the faith while your reality kept testing you. And there were nights you didn't tell anyone about. Nights where you stared at the ceiling, wondering how much longer. Nights where you felt like you were one unexpected bill away from breaking, one more disappointment away from shutting down. Chosen one, hear this. Heaven saw every silent battle. God counted every tear you didn't post. He recorded every moment you kept going when it would have been easier to quit. And now, because you did not give up, because you kept moving, even when you didn't feel strong, because you stayed standing through storms that should have taken you out, heaven is releasing a shift that will not make sense to the natural mind. Chosen one, this is the season where God is not just comforting you. He is resourcing you. He is sponsoring you. He is backing you. And backing changes everything. Because when heaven backs your life, you don't have to chase what was assigned to you. What belongs to you will find you. What is meant for you will be drawn to you. What is aligned with you will come toward you without manipulation, without begging, without forcing. That's why things have been falling away. And yes, that part hurts, because it wasn't only habits. It wasn't only distractions. It was people. People you cared about. People you gave chances to. People you prayed for. People you made excuses for. And you kept wondering, God, why am I losing connections? Chosen one, you weren't losing them. You were being separated from what was connected to your survival era. Because the chosen one you are becoming cannot be surrounded by what shrinks you. The chosen one you are becoming cannot be fed by what drains you. The chosen one you are becoming cannot keep tolerating what poisons your peace. So heaven removes what your heart would keep, not to punish you, to protect you, and some of you, You've been feeling lonely, but the loneliness is not the full story. Because heaven does not isolate what it plans to destroy. Heaven isolates what it plans to elevate. Chosen one, there is a difference between being alone and being hidden. And right now, you are being hidden. Hidden from distraction, hidden from jealousy, hidden from premature exposure, hidden from people who would mishandle what God is building in you. Because what's coming will require spiritual stability, and stability is built in the secret place. Chosen one, let me tell you what this new season will feel like. It will feel like peace that doesn't need permission. It will feel like clarity that doesn't come from overthinking. It will feel like boldness rising, not from ego, but from identity. You will stop asking, will it work out? Will it work out? Will it work out? And you will start declaring, it is already done. Not because you're delusional, but because you are aligned. Alignment does something to your nervous system. Alignment makes you calm in chaos. Alignment makes you steady when others panic. Alignment makes you move without needing applause. And yes, some people will misunderstand you. They will say you changed. They will say you got distant. They will say you became cold. Chosen one, you didn't become cold. You became clear. You became protected. You became disciplined. You became selective. Because your spirit finally got tired of bleeding to keep others comfortable. You are no longer available for environments that require you to betray yourself. You are no longer available for relationships that demand you shrink. You are no longer available for circles where your purpose is treated like a joke. Chosen one. That's not pride. That's growth. And growth is uncomfortable for people who benefited from your old version. Now listen, there is a reason this message is landing on you. Because the next phase of your life is not going to be built by your hustle alone. Let me say it again, slowly. Your next phase will not be built by hustle alone. God is not removing your work ethic. He is removing your desperation. There is a difference. Hustle says, I have to force it. Grace says, hustle says, if I stop, I lose everything. Grace says, if I align, everything flows. Chosen one, grace doesn't make you lazy. Grace makes you accurate, and accuracy is what you have been missing. Because for a long time, you've been working hard, but working scattered. Giving energy to too many directions, trying to hold too many responsibilities, carrying too many people, saying yes to too many things. And it's not that you were weak, you were just overextended. So heaven is reorganizing your priorities. You will crave peace more than approval. You will crave depth more than entertainment. You will crave purpose more than distraction. And that's why certain habits no longer satisfy you. The entertainment that used to numb you now feels empty. The conversations that used to excite you now feel draining. The places that used to feel familiar now feel restrictive. Chosen one, your spirit is outgrowing what your flesh depended on. That is not you being difficult. That is you being refined. Now, I need to speak to your finances for a moment, because some of you are listening and thinking, this sounds spiritual, but my bills are real. Yes, they are real, and God is not ignoring them. But your breakthrough is not only about money. Heaven is releasing more than currency. It is releasing ideas. It is releasing strategy. It is releasing favor. It is releasing connections. It is releasing timing. Because money without wisdom will still leave you in survival. So God is doing something deeper. He is changing the way you receive. You are being shifted from a life of reacting to a life of receiving, from striving to surrendering, from panic to certainty. And surrender is not passive. Surrender is holy alignment. Surrender says, I don't know how, but I know who. Surrender says, I release control and I choose trust. Surrender says, I will not sabotage my future by clinging to fear. Chosen one. Fear has been loud in your life. Fear made you overthink. Fear made you delay decisions. Fear made you doubt your own intuition. Fear made you accept less because you were afraid of losing more. But fear is losing its voice. And you can tell because you are starting to move differently. You're not begging for attention. You're not chasing validation. You're not explaining your boundaries. You're just moving. And that's a sign. Because when God is about to elevate you, He makes you comfortable with being misunderstood. He trains you to stop performing for people. He trains you to stop proving yourself. He trains you to stop needing everyone to agree. Because your calling is not a democracy. Chosen one. Your calling is assignment. And assignment doesn't need approval. It needs obedience. Now, here's what is happening in the unseen. Heaven is aligning your steps with people you haven't met yet. Divine connections are being prepared. Not the kind that drain you, the kind that unlock you. You are going to walk into conversations that hold the exact breakthrough you've been praying for. You are going to meet people who randomly mention something, and it changes your direction. You are going to receive invitations you did not chase. You are going to see doors open that you did not knock on. And when it happens, people will call it luck, but you will know it was alignment. Chosen one. This is the season where the atmosphere around you begins to respond to the inner shift within you. That's why you've been feeling it, like your expectations are changing, like your standards are rising, like your spirit refuses to settle. And yes, some people will become uncomfortable around you, not because you did anything wrong, but because your spirit is getting stronger. Chosen one. Some people loved you when you were small, when you were easy to control, when you needed them. But the moment you started healing, the moment you started saying no, the moment you started protecting your peace, they felt threatened because your elevation exposes their comfort. So don't argue, don't fight, don't beg, just keep rising. Because when heaven elevates you, separation is part of the process. Now, I want to give you something practical within the spiritual, because some of you are in a moment where you need direction. So listen carefully. There are 3 signs that you are stepping into your new season. First sign. Your spirit is becoming allergic to what used to be normal. What you tolerated before now feels heavy. What you used to excuse now feels unacceptable. What you used to laugh off now feels like disrespect. That's not you being sensitive. That's you being awakened. Second sign. You feel called to build, but you also feel called to be still. This is because heaven is training you to move from instruction, not impulse. Impulse moves fast and breaks. Instruction moves steady. Third sign. You are experiencing sudden clarity after a long season of confusion. That's the biggest one, because clarity is not just information. Clarity is spiritual alignment. And when clarity comes, your life starts to reorganize around purpose. Now, chosen one, here's what you must not do in this season. Do not go back to old patterns just because they feel familiar. Familiar does not mean safe. Familiar does not mean aligned. Familiar only means repeated. Do not sabotage your breakthrough by returning to what drained you. And do not explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Chosen one. Explanation is expensive. It costs you energy. It costs you focus. It costs you peace. And in this season, Your energy is sacred, because heaven is building momentum. Now, let me talk to the part of you that is still struggling with guilt. You feel guilty for changing. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. You feel guilty for not being as available. Chosen one. You were never meant to be accessible to everyone. Access is earned. And some people lost access, not because you became evil, but because you became honest. You became honest about what you need. You became honest about what you can carry. You became honest about what you deserve. That is maturity. Now, there's another shift happening. Your voice is changing. Not just your literal voice, your authority. You will notice you speak less, but when you do speak, it lands heavier, because you're no longer talking to be heard. You're talking from revelation. Chosen one. Revelation makes your words sharp. That's why God has been silencing you. Not because he forgot you, because he is loading your voice. A weapon is quiet while it's being prepared. And once you are loaded, you do not need to announce yourself. Your results will speak. Now, let's go deeper. Chosen one. You have been in a war you didn't even realize was spiritual. You thought it was only stress, only finances, only relationships, only timing. But the enemy has been targeting your identity, because if he can confuse your identity, he can delay your assignment. So, he attacked you with comparison. He attacked you with rejection. He attacked you with delays that made you question your worth. He attacked you with closed doors that made you think God said no. But chosen one, some doors were closed because the room was too small for what you carry. Some delays were protection. Some rejections were redirection. And now, heaven is restoring your confidence, restoring your vision, restoring your capacity, restoring the years you thought were lost. Yes, restoring. Because God does not waste pain. He converts it. He turns humiliation into humility. He turns rejection into discernment. He turns disappointment into direction. He turns betrayal into boundaries. And when you finally see it, you will realize even the hardest seasons served you. They refined you. They strengthened you. They matured you. So the blessing coming will not crush you. Chosen one. The blessing coming will match your internal strength, because God is strengthening you internally before expanding you externally. Now listen. This next part is important. You are entering a season where heaven is not hinting anymore. Heaven is announcing. You will not have to guess as much. You will not have to interpret everything. You will not have to live in confusion. Instruction will become clear, and you will feel it as a knowing. A deep knowing that says, this is the next step, even if you can't explain it, even if other people don't understand it. Chosen one, you don't need their understanding to obey. Now, let's speak to the heart. Some of you are still wounded from the last season. You were betrayed. You were left. You were overlooked. You were misunderstood. And you're afraid to hope again, because hope feels risky when you've been disappointed too many times. Chosen one, hear this gently. This is your invitation to believe again, not because you are naive, but because you are called. And calling requires faith. Faith is not pretending. Faith is not denial. Faith is agreement with heaven before earth shows evidence. So yes, it's scary, but you were not built to live guarded forever. You were built to live aligned, and alignment heals you. Because when you walk in purpose, your soul starts to settle. Now, I want you to imagine your life without survival. Imagine waking up without dread, without panic, without that heavy weight on your chest. Imagine having peace as your baseline, clarity as your rhythm, provision as a pattern. That is not fantasy. That is what heaven is preparing. And it won't arrive by you chasing it harder. It will arrive by you aligning deeper. So in this season, do these 3 things. First, protect your peace like it's your currency, because it is. Second, follow clarity, not emotion. Emotion fluctuates. Clarity leads. Third, stop begging for what requires agreement. If it's yours, it will come with grace. If it's forced, it will come with stress. Chosen one, your life is about to feel lighter because heaven is taking weight off you. And some of you will notice it in small ways first. You'll stop over-explaining. You'll stop apologizing for your boundaries. You'll stop chasing people who don't choose you. Then, bigger shifts will follow. New opportunities, new environments, new relationships, new ideas, new income streams, new doors. And the wild part is, it will feel effortless compared to your old season. Because grace will replace grind, not laziness. Grace. Grace does what hustle never could. Grace opens doors. Grace gathers resources. Grace brings people. Grace reveals strategy. Grace carries you through terrain that used to terrify you. So, chosen one, here's your confirmation. If you've been feeling a shift, if you've been feeling the desire to withdraw, if you've been feeling less available to chaos, if you've been feeling your standards rise, that is your spirit awakening. And this awakening is not for attention, it's for assignment.
You are being prepared for influence, not just provision. Influence requires depth. Influence requires discernment. Influence requires spiritual weight, and heaven is building that weight within you. Now, before I close, I need you to do one thing. Release the timeline. Let go of the "it should have happened by now," because timing is not punishment. Timing is preparation, and your delay did not disqualify you. Your delay developed you. So, chosen one, breathe again. Lift your head. You are not behind. You are being aligned. You are not rejected. You are being protected. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And the new season you are stepping into, it will not be explained. It will be witnessed. Because when God funds your purpose, when God backs your life, when heaven sponsors your steps, your results become your announcement. Chosen one, this is your moment to stay steady. Do not sabotage what is forming. Do not return to old cycles. Do not shrink to fit old rooms. You are rising, and what is meant for you will find you. Amen.